and NATO this past Monday ended their withdrawal from Afghanistan. They left Kabul Airport 24 hours before they said by Taliban, although in U.S. media they said that is the time or the deadline set by President Biden. And it doesn't matter who really said it, right? At the end, what matters is that withdrawal of nations who were occupying Afghanistan by force, by ally. So the chief of the U.S. command in charge of Afghanistan, Kenneth Mckenzie, announced a withdrawal. He declared that they managed to evacuate the United States citizens of third countries. By that, he means citizens of NATO. That could be translators, people in the embassy, people working under disguise or undercover, should be. So, and Afghans who work for the different organizations of the West during the past 20 years. Command Chief Mckenzie announced the last C-17 took off from Hamid Karzai International Airport on Monday afternoon around 3:30 Eastern Time. The Taliban organizations that control Afghanistan celebrated on their Twitter page. They claimed to have made history after 20 years of American occupation. I should say NATO occupation. The Taliban celebrated with fireworks and with shotguns in the air. It is known that after the events, when the Taliban took control of Kabul, Western countries quickly evacuated the country, leaving a lot of their equipment back in their bases. Most countries believe that type of move was unnecessary. But the U.S. did, leaving everyone wondering what the commotion was about. Some Afghan citizens could receive retaliation for having worked with the foreign forces. U.S. planes and their allies have flown out more than 123,000 civilians. From Washington, there was an admission that the efforts were unable to remove all the people wanted from Afghan soil. The chief of U.S. command admitted the anguish associated with the departure of NATO forces, that they could not get everyone they wanted. That's what he says. Many Afghans realize their betrayal could cost their life, and family members' lives too. Taliban and the constitution of every nation around the planet, when someone betrays their nation, they want to make an example of that. People who sell out for a handful of money. Please, down in the comments, what would you do if someone did that to your country and left the country devastated, like Libya is, Yemen, Afghanistan, and many other countries around the world? So let's continue here, my friends. The chief of U.S. command continues saying that if the U.S. troops in Kabul International Airport had stayed another week, the flights could not have evacuated everyone still. we have to remember that if they had stayed longer, the Taliban would have attacked those the militaries, the foreign militaries in their nation, because that's what they said. And there are videos on that. Unfortunately, I can't show that here, but I'm telling you, you can find it very easily. Evacuations were complicated this Thursday, by a suicide bomber. The terror event caused more than 100 civilians death and 13 U.S. military personnel lives, and over 150 persons were wounded. It has been reported that some children died during the attack of several rockets fired by the Islamic State, who claimed that was their work. Several people lost their lives to weapons of the foreign militaries. Amid the chaos, the forces opened fire directly to civilians. Some people were shot on their face. Some people were wounded in their body. And other people, unfortunately, lost their lives once in the hospital. Just imagine you're in the airport. Rockets are falling. The U.S. or the foreign militaries started shooting their weapons around it without care of people. But that's part of their training too. What a chaos. If you ask me, irresponsible too, because they knew where they were. In there, everyone there wanted to leave the nation, and they wanted those militaries' help. In retaliation, the U.S. used a drone allegedly against a car where the terrorists who attacked the airport were traveling. Authorities talk about 12 deaths, including more minors. The White House admitted the death of the children because of the air attack. There is also talk of how the U.S. military knew about the attack but did nothing about it, or about the plan of the rockets being shot at them, but they didn't do anything about it. That tells me that they want the world to think that Afghanistan is unstable and they must stay there longer. They must return like heroes. They couldn't do it in 20 years. They couldn't save lives in 20 years, but their return will do a difference. Regarding the abandoned weapons in the U.S. bases, the U.S. military says that many were disarmed. Should we take their word for it? Let's remember Iraq and the nuclear weapons that they had. 20 plus years later, there are no weapons. And if you still think they're going to find it, my friend, where have you been? It's been proven there were not nuclear weapons. And Afghanistan, they went there because of lithium. They knew there was lithium there, and they were trying to get control of lithium petroleum, the most valuable mineral, or the most valuable natural resources. Now I say that NATO has left a lot of army weapons behind to destabilize nearby nations as well as Afghanistan. At the same time, there is a possibility that the arms left behind could be used in a civil war. or at least that's what NATO is betting on. You know, ISIS, Al Qaeda, all those terrorist organizations, and they're hoping that they're going to start fighting for land, for territorial possession, or for territorial positioning, yeah, and that it will start a civil war between the different groups. But well, I'm going to make a video on that, and I'm going to explain it later. So let's continue with the information we have in front of us today. So the U.S. and NATO want an excuse with this excuse of turning Kabul into a safe zone. Western countries intend to create a platform for future interference within the internal affairs of Afghanistan. Just like they did, for example, have done with Colombia, where Colombia, they have so many bases, they have so many intelligence, and from there they attack Venezuela, they attack Bolivia, they have taken control of Ecuador, Brazil. So they're going to do the same with Afghanistan. They want to use Afghanistan to take control of Libya, Iraq, Iran, Yemen. They're hoping for that because they don't want to go with their tail between their legs. So Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan, I ask, would you, from whatever country you're watching this video from, would you allow international military to go into the capital city of your nation and create different bases, different platforms, or organizations, buildings, so that later on, when they're strong enough, they can finance someone that they would rather have as president, someone that will be working for them, instead of the person that is currently in power working for the people, working for you in this case. So someone that is giving you rights, someone that is saying, okay, we're going to help you with your school, with your work, find employment, finance, daycares, etc., etc., etc. But there comes an outsider to your capital city trying to destabilize, cause terror, cause chaos, just to have the excuse for them to enter your nation and try to take control of your capital city, of your government, and then, like I said, put someone instead, someone that will make them rich, and the organizations that are financing them. Because that's exactly what will happen in Afghanistan, and that's exactly what has happened in Colombia, where organizations are looting the natural resources of Colombia. For example, it is said that maybe 20 more years and Colombia will have no petroleum, not oil to sell. And that is the reason why they want, that is the reason they wanted Bolivia. For the natural, for lithium. And that's the reason they want Venezuela for the petroleum, right? So let's continue with what we have in front of me here. Let's return to what we're talking about today. If this is carried out, Afghanistan will become a satellite country like Colombia in South America. The idea is also to have or open an international zone in which it will cost severely to the sovereignty of Afghanistan. I highly doubt that any patriotic government will accept this proposal. In this case, Taliban will say, hell no. Or any other person or group that is there for thinking for the progress of Afghanistan. for the development of Afghanistan. Anyone thinking positive, wanting to lift the country, will say no. So we'll see what happens, but I'm betting on a no. A strong, solid no. So Western countries are talking of this initiative as a humanitarian model. We have seen it in many examples worldwide. I already mentioned a few. So we have seen it, many examples worldwide where the humanitarian mission is used to colonize the country. Zones of influence are built to interfere in the internal affairs of the nation. In every single nation, wherever this model has been used, these zones of influence are used to finance the opposition through the government wanted out, or only to someone in the presidency who will do as NATO. Only to place someone in the presidency who will do as NATO and international corporations ask. My friends, thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment. If you have any suggestions, leave that in the comment. Tell me what you think about this video. It would really help me improve. So thank you so much for your time. Help someone in your community. You might be the only one who does. Until next video, my friends. Ciao, ciao for now.